This video will show you a basic overview of how to use Google Calendars. So let's get started on google.com. Make sure you're signed in. On the top right here, you'll be able to see your information if you're already signed in. I'm going to use my Google App Launcher to click on Google Calendars. Here on Google Calendars, you will see that it is set to whatever view you actually used the last time you used Google Calendars. So mine was set to monthly view. Here on my top navigation bar, this is the main menu button, which is my left-hand display of navigation tools. If I click on it, that left-hand navigation disappears. Here you're able to toggle through the months back and forth by using my left and right arrow. The monthly view can be changed to a weekly view if you would like, or any of the other options listed here. I like to look at my calendar in a month, so I'm going to put it back to monthly view. In my search bar right here, I can type and search for different events that I have scheduled if I'm looking for something specific. The 9-tile app launcher will take you to any of these other apps if you would choose to do so. The notifications little bell icon shows you any notifications from Google. So on my left-hand side here, we have a few different features. I can add a coworker's calendar by clicking on here and typing in their email address. This is if I want to share a calendar and actually be able to see another person's calendar on my calendar. Here I have my personal calendar, birthdays, and then reading period 5. This is actually a class I have listed in my Google Classroom. So any of your Google Classroom classes will be shown here in your calendar view. And then reminders. It's always a good idea to keep your reminders tab clicked, which means that in any view, even if I'm on my own calendar or if I'm just on my different Google Classroom calendars, I will always see my reminders, which is a good way to make sure you're not scheduling events for when you have a conflicting time. So there are two ways to add events to your calendar. One, you can click the plus button, but this will just give you a basic event here. Another way is to click on the day that you're looking to schedule something. Like if I click on here the 26th, I have 4 different choices here. I can add an event, an out of office notification, a reminder, and an appointment slot. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with an event. This is a basic quick little way to add an event. If I want to add a more detailed event, I click on more options. Here we can get started by adding a title with an event. Like let's say I have a meeting with Dr. T. I'm just going to make that up right now. It is on a specific day. It's not all day, so I'm going to unclick the all day button if this event is happening from a specific time. Let's say it's from 11 to 11:30. It does not repeat. If you do have a meeting or an event that you want to schedule that happens daily or weekly or monthly or custom, you can do that by checking one of these options from the repeat button. Here you can fill in the event details. It's kind of self-explanatory. One thing I want to make sure is that I'm on the right calendar. This is not a meeting that's happening with anything related to my reading period 5 class, so I'm going to make sure it's on my personal calendar, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that. One nice little option here is I get to add a reminder for myself, so I will get a notification 10 minutes before, or if I want to set it to maybe 1 hour before, you can change it to notify you whenever, how much time you need, as a reminder that you have this meeting with Dr. T coming up. Then this is where you can set your availability to busy and free, and I would obviously be busy during this time, so I'm going to leave that. Here you can add a description if you would like. And if you are going to be meeting with other people along with Dr. T, then you might want to invite some guests. So maybe your colleagues or you're meeting all together. Here you would type in their emails. And then you can modify what your guests can and cannot do. So because I'm in charge of this event, let's say for this purpose, I might not want them to be able to invite others, but they could see the guest list so they know who's coming to this event with Dr. T. So once you've set all your preferences here, you click Save, and you'll see your meeting that pops up right here. Let's go back and look at my other choices that I have for adding an event. An out-of-office reminder is kind of self-explanatory. Here you can type in out of office or on vacation or out for the day, whatever you need to do. Set the time. You can put a little decline message in here, and you can set your preferences to public, default visibility, or private, depending on who you want to see or not see that message. Under reminder, this is very simple. It does not have another other options tab. Here I can just say, let's say I need to meet with Sam, and I have a time here, a day. It's not going to happen all day, so I'm going to unclick that. And let's say I'm going to meet with Sam before school at 7 a.m. So I'll go up here and I will find 7 a.m. And this way I can tell that, all right, remind myself I have to meet with Sam at 7 a.m. This is something you can set to repeat or not repeat based on when this happens. This is a nice way and a quick way to set a reminder. It's different than actually creating an event. Now we're going to create an appointment slot. An appointment slot is a way for you to designate a certain amount of time where people can sign up to meet with you. So let's say I want to schedule a reading conference with my students, and this will be the first one of the year, so I'll say reading conference number 1. It's going to take place on Tuesday from, let's say, 12 to 1:30. And slots with duration means I'm going to give my students 15 minutes to meet with me, so I put 15 minutes in my time block. Reading period 5, this calendar shows that yes, I'm in the right calendar. I'm setting a reading conference to happen in my reading period 5 Google Classroom. So I'm going to hit more options. Now once I have that all set for my timing, I can make sure that this event repeats or doesn't repeat, depending if I meet with my students weekly or monthly for a reading conference. Here we fill in the details. Adding a location is more of a GPS locator, and we don't really need that since we're going to be at school. I'm in the proper calendar. Here I'm going to add a description where I'm going to say, please sign up to meet with me about your reading response this week. This lets students know that they have to pick a time to meet with me. Here for add guests, I'm going to select reading period 5. This is all of the students in my reading period 5 Google Classroom. This is another group of the reading period 5 teachers, which is just myself. So I'm going to click reading period 5 students. Here you'll see you'll have all of your students in here. I can use my expand button to make sure that I have everybody. This is an example, so I just have myself. But if you were actually to have your Google Classroom set up, that would have all of your students in it. So now I can make sure that I have everything set. Before I save this and actually send out notifications for students to sign up for a meeting slot, I'm going to click on the Find a Tab button. That allows me to look at my calendar and make sure that I have no conflicting events at that time. So we're all good. I set up my reading conference. I'm going to select Save, and then you'll get a notification. Do you really want to invite guests? And I'm going to say yep. That means every student will receive an email to sign up for this reading conference. Here I can go ahead and make sure that everything is set. If I click on it, I'll see all the details for my reading conference. One little nice little preference here is you can choose to email guests. So for example, if this was going out to my students, I might email them again and just say, hey, as a quick reminder, pick a time. Or if you're sending this out to colleagues or let's say the teachers, you can send them a quick email as a reminder message. The 3 vertical button option tab gives you a few options here. One thing that I want to point out is when you publish an event, you can use this link so that visitors can add this event to their Google Calendar. So when you publish this link or copy the link and give it to somebody, they can actually add the event to their calendar so they have it as well on their end. And that's basically how you would set up an appointment slot. And that is a general overview of Google Calendar.